So let's look at, we're going to look at creating a nicer sign-up form page soon using the Mailchimp landing page. Now, before we go into the Mailchimp landing page, I just want to take you over the visual builder that is used in Mailchimp for both the landing pages and for creating emails, whether it's regular emails or automated emails. We've got this visual builder, which is basically a drag and drop builder that we can create nice looking emails or landing pages. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over and start on clicking on create. I'm just going to pick landing page. Let's give it a name. So let's call it the first landing page. And we pick a list or an audience that's going to put people on, and we're going to just select the one audience that we've got. So it's going to ask us for a template. Don't worry about this for now. I'm just going to pick one and delete everything from it. I'll show you more about the landing page templates when we actually create the landing page for real. So yeah, so what we've got is we've got this drag and drop builder, this visual builder. And over on the right hand side, we've got things like content and design tabs. So content is where we can pick certain things that we want to drag and drop into our form or our page. And it is literally drag and drop. And we can see we've got the header and we've got the body, and we can drop content into certain sections, into the header or into the body. Here we've added a text. We can add images. We can add buttons. You know, we can add social follow icons. We can add videos. Yeah, we can add all sorts of different things. You can go along and see exactly what these do. I'm not going to go into each and every one because the settings for most of them are the same. So yeah, we can actually build up our page with text and images and buttons and sign-up forms and videos and so on and so forth. So we've got this drag and drop builder. Now, when we've created things, you know, when we've designed the page, there's a lot more options we can look at. So if we head over to the design tab, we've got design options that we can change. We can look at the page, and the page covers the whole page itself. So we've got this background, as you can see, it's this slightly off-white. So we can make the background completely white. We can also add an image instead. We can actually upload an image if we like to use as the background. As you can see, we've got this huge image. It doesn't really fit very well, but obviously if you had an image that did, you know, you could use an image in your background. There's things we can do about padding, so we can have, well, let's start with the width. We can have the width of the page. So the width of the page currently is from here, this edge to this edge, and it's measured at 780 pixels. We can make it wider, or we can make it 100% so it responds to the page. So if somebody's looking at it on a smaller screen with less pixels, it will still be from edge to edge. If somebody's looking at a large page or with an ultra-wide monitor or something like that, you know, it'd still be edge to edge. We can add padding, and padding is like having a margin either side. So there's a margin on the left here, 100 pixels, and there's a margin on the right here of 800 pixels. So we can go in there and start playing about with the width and how we want it to look, how we want our page to look. Now, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, and well, sometimes you have heading 5 and heading 6. These are recognized headers that get picked up on searches. So when you have when you're doing SEO, you have particular keywords in particular sections, and sometimes you have them in these particular headers. Now, generally, all you need to know really is that this isn't an SEO lesson, so all you really need to know is heading 1 is bigger than heading 2, which is bigger than heading 3, which is bigger than heading 4. And we can see that by the sizes here. The preset sizes for heading 1 is, the font is Arial, the size is 40, and the colour is this very dark grey. It's not quite black, but very dark grey. And we can see it's the same for heading 2, but it's 34 pixels. We can see it's the same for heading 3, except it's a slightly different colour and smaller. And the same for heading 4. It's even lighter grey, and it's a smaller pixels, smaller size still. So as you can see, heading 1 is bigger than heading 4. Now these are preset sizes for headings. So when we go to a text box, and we've got some text, we can highlight that, go to styles, and we can see we've got heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and heading 4. And these styles, as you can see how it changes, these styles are set by default in this page section. As you can see, heading 4 is a lighter grey, it's aligned left, and it's italic. It's not central like the others, and it's not bold. So we can change that. We can change the default way text looks from as soon as we use it, when we select a text style in the editor. Header, when we go into the header, and the header section is the top part here where this drop content blocks is. That is the header, much like on a page you'll have the header. So we can change the background color of the header, or we can use an image instead, like so. So we can actually have the header, we can change the design of the header to suit what we need. Remove the image. We've got borders that we can use. We can have border top and border bottom of the header. As you can see, we've now got this, change that one to red so you can see it. We've now got this top border and this bottom border here. We can change the padding, so as you can see, we've got 54 pixels padding on the top and 0 on the bottom. So we've got padding from here up to here, so we can make the header bigger or smaller, and we can move the content in that header to different places, like so. And then we've got the that's the background. We've got the interior style, so we can have a separate color interior, like so. And again, there is padding, interior padding as well. So there is border top, border bottom. As you can see there. And we've got padding. Again, padding is from here to the top and from here to the bottom. And as you can see, we've got more padding on the top than the bottom, which makes it unevenly spaced. There we go. And we can also add a box shadow as well, like that, to make it stand out. So you can play about with this and make it, really sort of stand out and make it quite effective. And then header text, we can choose a default text for header for any text that we put in here. So if we put a text box in here, we can change the font by default. The body is pretty much the same, except it's for anything below the header. So anything below this thick black line now is now the body, anything above is the header. So again, we can change things. We can add an image. so. We can change the colour, we can have no colour. Again, we can have a border top, which is just going to be just underneath here, and a border bottom, which is going to be at the bottom here. So if I just do a solid 10 in red, same top. You can see that red bar at the bottom of the body and the red bar at the top, just below the header. Again, we've got padding. As you can see, we've got padding at the top of 0 pixels, so there's no space between the border at the top and the first block. And padding at the bottom, from where the last block is, we've got this 117 pixels from here all the way down to the footer. So we can make that smaller. And we can make padding at the top bigger, like so. Interior style, again, just like the header, there is interior colors we can change or use an image instead. Again, there's interior borders we can use. Like so. And we've got interior padding as well, so we can get rid of that. Move, have it right to the bottom and right to the top. Again, we can use box shadows if we so wish, and we can change all that as well. Any links in the body are going to be shown in this blue. So yeah, we can change the link color if we wish, and we can change the link style as well. When it comes to mobile styles option, so where we spoke about the headers, we had, let's just have a look at the page. So header 1 was 40 pixels. Now when we go into mobile styles, what that basically means is when it loads in a mobile device, some of these headings or some of these texts are going to be too big. So 40 pixels is going to be massive on the screen. So what it does is it readjusts all the sizes and it makes them smaller. So it changes heading 1 to 30 pixels instead of 40. It changes header 2 to 26 pixels instead of, I think it was 34, something like that. And it basically makes them smaller so it looks better on the screen. Header text and body text is again, so any text in the header section or any text in the body section is going to be resized to 16 pixels over what it is as standard. That's what the mobile styles is for. So the notification bar, so we did mention about using, alerting people to using cookies in the GDPR section. So you can have in Mailchimp, you can track people's use. You can track it in Mailchimp. You can add a Facebook pixel code so that you can track people who are coming over from Facebook and then retarget them back on Facebook later on. And you can add a Google Analytics code. So you can track what people get up to on your pages. So because you're tracking this information that people are using, you've got to use a notification bar. So we can turn this notification bar on, and if we go to the top, we can see we've got this hideously blue, horrible notification information. We use cookies to improve our experience and help us understand how you use our site. By using this site, you accept our use of cookies, and then we could put a link to our privacy policy there as well. Now, obviously, it's horrible text, it's horrible color, so we can change the background color to something a bit more relevant. They're mostly usually in black. And the text, we can simply change and write our own text. So we use cookies to gather data on use by continuing to use this or this. By continuing to use, you accept the terms or the data use terms as set our privacy policy, and then we can link that privacy policy like that, and click on link and put a link into our website. Or a link to the privacy policy on our website. Don't worry about household links, I'll go over that a bit more in the future. So, as you can see, this text that we've now typed in here is now showing up here. We can change that to, we can change it to white to stand out a bit more, like so. Automatic, that's better. And we can save that. And the privacy badge. So that's the Mailchimp logo at the bottom. Again, it does say we cannot get rid of this privacy policy badge. In the free account, we have to have it. So either way, we can have either the black on the white or the white on the black, whichever you prefer. You get to give you a choice of two. That's it for that. Okay, so that's kind of like the page setup and how you want it to look. You know, play about with that. You know, get a design idea in your head and how it looks. Yeah, and set that up how you need it. Let's go, you know, make it look nice. Make a landing page that looks nice. Let's make a generic landing page to, you know, whatever you need your landing page for. If it's a particular offer, then make like a sales page where it really sells that offer. If you're actually selling a product or a service, you know, make it so that that product or service looks a lot, you know, really enticing. Have a look at some landing pages, some of the other options we've got here. Once we've entered the text and the images and put the videos where we want them and things like that. You know, if you've got this link to your e-commerce site, you will also see products here as well. And only on the landing pages will you see a sign-up form. So somewhere in your landing page, you put a sign-up form. Now, for every one of these, there are settings related to each one. So when we go into text, we can actually change the text that's in there and type it in, put whatever we like in. And then we can do the usual things of bold, italic, underline, things like that. Also, whilst we can use the styles function to select a particular style, you know, we can type anything we like and we can choose our own style. We can make it bold, we can make it a different font, we can make it larger, we can change the text color to whatever we like. Obviously, we've got the left, center, right, and justify text alignment options, like so. And we can also give it like a background color, almost like a highlighter, like so. There are options to put in dividers, and there are options to add images within the text box as well. And then that way we can have text aligned around the image. Like so. Yeah, you can play about with that. You can add your text. You can do all the things that you want to do. And then you can link text as well to certain places. So if you wanted to, say, go to my website by clicking here, then you can highlight the here, click on this link icon, and then insert a web address here, www.lexiart.co.uk, and that adds a link to a website. If you are offering a document, so download the ebook here, and we can select, spell that right, and we can highlight that, click on link, and we can link to an email, or we can link to a file in here. So we can click on file, and then we get to our content studio, and we can pick a PDF document from our content studio. If you haven't uploaded it yet, we have the option to upload it here. You know, you can pick any sort of file. So it could be an image, download this template, download this standard image. And yeah, people can actually, you know, click on that link and then get the file that they want. Other options are, you know, you can link to, what did we see? So we've got the option of linking to an anchor. Now that's a set point within a large page. We can create what's called an anchor, and I will do a training video on using anchors, so we can ignore that for now. We can link to an email address. So if you said, email me via this link here, then we could highlight link and then select email address, and we can give it a default email address, which will be yours for them to get in touch with you. You can give it a default subject and a default message, and then when they click on that, it will open up their email platform, and then the email will be ready to go with the default subject, the default text, the default message, and all they have to do is then fill out the details and send it. So you can put an email link in there as well. And the last one is we can link to a landing page. So it's basically linking, you know, we can select the landing page that we've created in Mailchimp, and we can link to that as well. So it could be going from one page to another. Other settings we've got for every single one of these, there are always 3 settings. There's the contents that you put in, there's style and settings. So different settings, or different styles, sorry, let's go to styles. So we can go in there and pick a specific font, specific size, specific color. We can give it a specific style and a specific line height. And as you can see, all the default fonts, all the default font that we put in here, the stuff that we never actually changed, we've changed it to this default style here. Now, anything you do change here overrides the default style. So if you do go in here and then you say, well, I want this bit to be, I want it to be blue, and I want it to be 18, and I want it to be italic and bold. You can see that that is overriding the default style that we set in the Styles tab. So that's what we've got in there. Settings, there's always some extra settings. So with this one, we've got 1 column. We can actually change it to 2 columns, and we could have it equal columns, a larger column on the right or a larger column on the left. So we can change it between number of columns. We've got that option. That's for the text. And when it comes down to images, we can see all sorts of different styles and things as well. So we can upload an image, insert one from our content manager. We can edit the image here. Click on edit. It gives us this inbuilt image editor where we can change the size down in the bottom corner here. Give it 800 pixels. And just going to tab over, it's going to keep the dimensions. But we've got all sorts of other things where we can crop to different size, custom square, wide. We can add filters, we can make adjustments. We can change the focus. we've got lots of effects we can do here. We can add text to the image. We can add text designs, sort of fancy text. So we've got a lot of options of creating images in here. We can add stickers. There's a bunch of stickers we can use. We can use a paintbrush to sort of draw on. There's frames that we can add. And there's overlays that we can use as well. So if we can find a decent one that shows up. Yeah, so we've got this water effect here, so we can see drops of water all over the image. So in the image editor, we've got some quite good stuff that we can do. We can, we can really sort of change our images and make a bit of a difference. And we can save that. There we go. We can also add a link. Again, same options we had before. We've got email address, anchor link, file, or landing page, so we can link the image. So if somebody clicks on the image, it links to one of those. So we can have that as a website. UK. And just be aware with images that some email platforms do not load images by default. So when people get your email, and I had this myself the other day, I sent out an image, an email with an image of a video window, and when you clicked on that, it took them to the video. Now somebody said there was no link to the video, and when I told them to click on the image, they said I haven't got an image. Now what it was their platform is automatically set to not display images, and if people leave that set up as it is, then when they first read your email, they're not going to see any images. So it's always worth putting links in text as well as if you are linking images, put the link in the text as well, just so that the link is there if they don't see the image. That's just a little tip. So other things we've got, so the difference between text and box text. As you can see, box text is in it's got a contrasting background, like it says. Again, when you go to styles, you can change the text style as we could before, and we've also got the container style, where we can change the background color, and we can also give it things like a border as well, 10 pixel black border, like so. So it really sort of helps get eyes on that section. And we can add things like shadows, so that really makes that sort of that text sort of stand out. Dividers, we can simply put a divider in to separate sections in our page or email. How much space we want on the top and the bottom, and the color of the divider. So as you can see, it's 2 pixels wide, it's that color, and we can also give it a funny looking background. No? Yeah, like so. Image group, and image card, image and caption. So image group is basically not just one image, it gives us the option of up to 5 images, like so. And each one is the same. When we browse for an image, we can browse for one, we can upload one if we like, and then we can go through it and we can give it a link, we can edit the image, we can do all that sort of stuff again like we could with a normal image. When it comes to style, we've got options of, again, we can add borders, around the image, like so. We can give it rounded corners, so it's completely round like that, as well as still using shadows again. And settings, for this one we've got different layout settings, so we can have 212 or 122 or 221. It gives us different image layouts depending on how many images we use. So you can play about with that and get some image groups set up as well. Image card and image caption are pretty much the same. Just drag one of each in. So we're just going to get rid of this one. And we're just going to get rid of this one. As you can see, these are pretty much identical. We've got an image with text below, an image with text below. The text below on the image card is in a contrasting box, very much like this text block that we put in here. So again, when it comes to settings, we can upload an image, change the image that way, and we've got a text block editor here as well. When it comes to style, we've got settings for the text style, much the same as this one, and the background. And then we've got the same settings for the image as well, where we can add a border and we can give it rounded corners if we like. Settings, we can change where the caption is, whether it's on the bottom, the right, the top, or the left, as you can see. We can make the image align left, center, or right. So let's just quickly add an image to this. I'm just going to make this really, really small just to make it show you what I need to show you. Okay. So we've got the image there. As you can see, the image is aligned to the left, the center, and the right. Just moving over there, make it really small. Again, if we make the caption bottom, then we can move the image across the screen like so. When it comes to margin edge to edge, basically what that means is it's the edge to edge. When selected, it basically makes the image go from the edge of the section with no margin. So when it says edge to edge, you can see it's up in the top left corner, no margin to the left, no margin to the right. Turn it off, and you've got that spacing there. The image and caption, pretty much identical. There's your text editor, there's your image upload section. Style, again, we've got the text style. The only thing we haven't got is the background color option there, because it's not got the contrasting background. So we can change that. And settings, again, we've got options to move it from the left to the right, top, left. And again, we can align the image to the left, center, right, and we can actually use in this one, we can have up to 4 images and 4 captions. So we can see the settings for caption 1, caption 2, caption 3, and caption 4. Okay, so we've got a button here. Again, a button acts like a link. We can basically change the text. We can link it to any of these 5 things that we said before. Again, we can have it linked to a web address, an email address. We can use an anchor link, which we'll go over in the future. We can link it to a file like a PDF document. So we could have it, let's have it to that file and download the image now. So when people click on it, it gives them the file. It gives them that image in your content manager. Advanced options, we can open it in a new window. We can give it a title and CSS class, which we don't need to worry about. Styles we've got for the button, so we can have, first of all, if we go into settings, we can make the width of the button either fit to text or full width of the screen like so. So it goes full width or width of the text. Then we can align it to the left, the right, or to the center of the screen. In the style, we've got padding around the button, so where the text is, we've got 15 pixels above, below, left, and right, so we can make that bigger as well, like so. and you can offset the text that way if you so wish, make the button wider. Borders, we can give it a border around the button, like so. We can make the button corners a bit more rounded, so if you like rounded buttons or you like square buttons, you've got that option there. Obviously we can change the background colour to something a bit different, and we can give it shadows and make it stand out a bit more, make it pop. We can change the font style on there and change the font colour and make it bigger if we so wish, and make the text bold or not. We can play about with fonts in there as well. So that's the button. When it comes to things like social share and social follow, so social follow is this is the social follow. So this is where you can put a social follow in here, and you can put all your social media links in here to get people to come and follow you on social media. Like so, put your link in there, and that will take people to your profile or to your page or to your group or whatever you want people to go to on your social media profile. There's a lot to choose from. As you can see, we've got all these options here, all the main ones, including Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Google+, Instagram, Snapchat, all these other ones as well, Medium. And you can even have a link to your email address, so people click on that and it begins generating an email, or a link to your website as well. As you can see, there's already a website one there. We can get rid of these, so we can have more or less. We can add another, and we can move the order around as well using these three little handles here. So we could have email first, and then Facebook, and then your website. The social share is different. Oh, actually, just before we go into that, styles. We can go into the style. We can change things like the container background, like so. We can change the font when there is font in there. There's no font in there at the moment because of the settings. We've got it set display icon. We can have it set to display text only, or both icon and text. And it shows the text that you've got here. Full width or fit to size. You can make it as wide as the page, or fit to as wide as many buttons you've got. And then there's different layouts you've got, so one on top of the other. We've got the icon with the font with the text to the right. We've got a large icon with the text below, and we've got on top of each other like so. And we've also got different types of icons we can use. So we've got just outlined icons where it shows just the outline, or we've got solid icons where it's solid colours on the inside. So there's all sorts of different choices we've got there. So when we go to style, we change the font. We're changing the font only if it's on show. Now the difference between the social follow and the social share is the social share one is when people click on it, it will share it on Facebook or share it on Twitter. And literally we just need to add services that we want here. And there's less services available that we can actually share this to. But when people click on this, it's not going to take them to your profile. It's going to share. It's going to share this post or this page or this link onto their social media profile. So you might want to encourage people to share things and have the share buttons in there as well. When it comes to settings and styles, it's pretty much the same as this one. Only a couple of layout options. Again, we've got the solid icons or the outlined icons. And when it comes to style, again, we can just do the styles very similar. And change the font as well. So we can play about with those and make it look how we want it. Payments. So payments on Mailchimp are only processed through Square payments. We're going to go over Square payments later on. But you can put a product in there and you can put a payment on there. But you do have to connect to your Square account, so we'll go over that at a later date. sorry. That is only available to landing pages. It's not available in emails. Sign up form, again, only available to landing pages, not available to emails. This is where we add our sign up form. And when we come to create our first landing page, I'll go over the sign up form in more detail. And the last one in here is a video. And what we can do is we can put a video in there. Already got one. And we can basically put a link from YouTube and Vimeo. And what that does is, on a landing page, that will play the video within the landing page. It won't send them to YouTube or Vimeo. It will play within the landing page. On an email, when you insert it into an email, you can use any link you want from any video service provider. Because when people click on it in the email, it doesn't play it in the email. It opens up the link and plays it on the platform. So if you do, so if you put a YouTube link in there on the landing page, it will play it in the landing page. If you put it in an email, then when people click on it, it will open up YouTube and play it within YouTube. We can give it a caption as well, so we can put text on the bottom. And again, just like the image, we can play about with where the caption position is. And then in style, we can change the block width to make it smaller or narrower. There's settings here, obviously the caption style. We can change the background. We can turn the caption off. So yeah, there's a few things we can do in there as well. So play about and see what options you can get. You can build this and design it in so many different ways to make it look exactly how you want it to look. Within the builder, if you decide you want to move stuff around, yeah, you can do that. So as you hover over a block, you see it highlights. We've got different options. Excuse me. We've got different options here. We can delete the block. We can duplicate the block like so, and it makes two of them. So if you've got, say, a text block that is all formatted how you like it, but you want some different text further on, you can duplicate the box, move it to where you want to, and then change the text as well. Clicking on the pen button does go into the edit window, so if you haven't got that active, click on the pen button and it makes it active. But just clicking on the block itself makes it active too. And then if you do want to move things around, the handle in the top left corner, you can click and drag to reorder it. And as you move down the page, you can see drop block here. You can see where, if you hover over it and let go, that's where it's going to drop, like so. So that's the visual builder. That's everything, when you are building and designing a page, a landing page or an email, that is the visual builder that is used to do it. It's a nice process, it's visual, you can see exactly what you're getting. And there's so many options there for designing things in so many different ways, different images, different text, moving things around. And, you can design something really, really nice in this. So, go in, create a landing page, just start playing about with the builder, start getting used to it, and see what options you've got, so that when you do come to create your emails and your landing pages, you know how to use the visual builder. So that's the training on the visual builder complete.